Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to meet the news on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Mukhtar Kasim. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. We begin from Kano State, where worshippers and students are set to benefit from new religious facilities as Ganduje Foundation intensifies its community intervention programs. Speaking during the inspection, the foundation's patron, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, emphasized that the foundation was established to promote Islamic values and contribute to community development, particularly through education and worship. The former national chairman of the All Progressive Congress and Kano State governor highlighted that these projects are a reflection of the organization's commitment to serving humanity and strengthening faith-based learning. The initiatives include the construction of a multi-million naira Juma'at mosque and some Islamia schools, all in Kano metropolis. Details of this report will come to you in our subsequent bulletin. Meanwhile, the Sultan of Sokoto and the President General of the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar, has announced Monday, August 25, 2025, as the first day of Rabiul Awwal 1447 after Hijrah. This is contained in a statement released by the Wazir in Sokoto and the Chairman of the Sultanate Council Advisory Committee on Religious Affairs, Professor Sambo Junaidu. Professor Junaidu said the declaration followed reports from the Sultanate Council Advisory Committee on Religious Affairs in conjunction with the National Moon Sighting Committee, which confirmed that no sighting of the moon crescent was received from moon sighting committees across the country on Saturday, 23rd August 2025, corresponding to 29th Safar 1447 after Hijrah. The King Salman Humanitarian Aid and Relief Center has successfully concluded its voluntary medical outreach for open-heart surgery and cardiac catheterization in Kano State. In a statement, it said the 5-day campaign, which ran from August 18 to 22, 2025, brought together a 25-member team of highly skilled Saudi medical volunteers who performed dozens of complex procedures with remarkable success. It said the team conducted a number of open-heart surgeries and cardiac catheterizations, all of which were completed successfully, bringing renewed hope to patients and their families. And now talking politics, where governors elected on the platform of the main opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP, rose from their meeting in Gusau, Zamfara, state capital, insisting that they are committed to the November 15 and 16 elective national convention slated for Ibadan, Oyo State. The governor's position is coming amidst statements credited to the former governor of Rivers State and the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, that he is not aware of the convention and did not recognize the National Executive Committee NEC meeting where the decision for the convention was made. The minister has vowed that there will be no peace in the party except the South-South Congress conducted by his allies that produced Dan Obi and rejected the NWC is recognized. But the governors who declared their support for the Ambassador Umar Damagun-led leadership of the party said they are committed to the resolutions of the 101st NEC meeting of July 25 regarding the National Convention. A 16-year-old girl, Praise Malachi, has lost her life in flooding while rushing home to check her senior school certificate examination SSCE results, which her friends told her were excellent. Her father, Emmanuel Malachi, said it was around 6 p.m. after rainfall when his daughter's friends came to his shop and informed her that her WAEC results were out and that she performed excellently well. Praise was a final year student of the Government Day Secondary School Samaru, Zaria, who bagged scholarship from the Center of Girls Education Zaria to further her education because of her brilliant performance. Now, as Nigeria prepares for future elections, the call for diaspora voting continues to generate conversations among citizens both at home and abroad. While many see it as a way to deepen democracy, others believe the country is not yet ready for the challenges it presents. Ubong Usoro completes this report.
The newly elected Senator of Anambra South, Emmanuel Nwachukwu, expressed his commitment to transformative leadership.
We apologize for that mix-up and will bring to you that report in our subsequent bulletin. Still talking politics, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has formally presented certificates of return to the victors of the August 16 by-elections, marking the official induction of new senators and House of Representatives members. The ceremony took place at the INEC's headquarters in Abuja, where national commissioners overseeing the progress and process for their respective regions. Anita Patrick brings us details.
Received her certificates thanking President Bola. The newly elected Senator of Anambra South, Emmanuel Nwachukwu, expressed his commitment to transformative leadership. He emphasized tackling the region's environmental challenges, noting Anambra South, often called Nigeria's erosion capital, demands urgent action.
My promise is that they will feel well represented this time around, very well represented. And we want to be able to separate representation from philanthropy. Because what normally happens is that because of poverty in the land, representatives are measured by how much they give out.
The APC Senator-elect for Edo Central, Joseph Ikpe, vowed to honor his constituents' trust, succeeding Monday Okpebholo, who stepped down to pursue Edo's governorship. The story was not different from Omosede Igbenedion, the APC member-elect for Ovie Federal Constituency in Edo, who also received her certificates thanking President Bola Tinubu, the Edo State Governor, and her constituents.
And everything they do is already with us, and we will implement them in accordance with how it comes. So I want to assure my people that I will not disappoint them, and that all the necessary things that are available in the Senate seats, I've made it available for them accordingly.
Today, this is the culmination of all that hard work, so I'm glad it paid off. I want to thank His Excellency, the President of our country, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for giving us all the support in the APC. Indeed, this is my first time contesting on this platform, and it was amazing.
INEC further announced that certificates of return for newly elected state assembly members will be issued on Friday by resident electoral commissioners at the state offices. Anita Patrick, reporting for Global TV.
Politics to the health sector, where experts have raised an alarm over the dangers of self-medication in the treatment of malaria, warning that the practice could lead to severe complications, including death. In an exclusive interview with Global Television on World Mosquito Day, Dr. Aisha Ladan of the Federal Medical Center, Abuja, urged Nigerians to stop treating themselves without proper medical guidance. Our correspondent, Zara Unasir, brings us details.
World Mosquito Day draws global attention to the deadly threat of malaria and other diseases spread by mosquitoes. Dr. Aisha Ladan explained that while malaria remains the most common illness transmitted by the mosquito, others such as yellow fever and dengue fever are also of major concern. She observed that many Nigerians have turned themselves into doctors by self-treating malaria, a practice that she cautions could result in death.
Everyone has become a doctor when it comes to treating malaria, and that is a very big danger in the sense that problems arise like drug resistance. So wrong diagnosis is also a problem. You see someone coming down with fever, body pains, and headache, and the next person, oh, it's malaria, go to the pharmacy and get malaria medications. They take this medication and they don't get better. So the delay in diagnosis and institution of the right treatment can lead to complications. And complications of malaria are vast and they are dangerous, and the worst is death.
Some residents interviewed said they protect themselves by sanitizing their surroundings, using insecticides, and sleeping under mosquito nets.
If the environment is bushy, at least there is need for fumigation from time to time. Then, nowadays mosquitoes are very stubborn. And still they penetrate through the windows and doors and enter the rooms. Sometimes we use mosquito nets, and sometimes mosquito coils and insecticides.
The implication is that it gives malaria and fever. Even though malaria and fever, they are almost the same thing. It causes malaria.
Then how do you protect yourself?
I protect myself by using mosquito nets and ensuring that my environment is clean, and most times cleaning my drainages to be sure that the place is dry.
Mosquito bite causes malaria, and the best way to prevent malaria is to eliminate mosquitoes. And to do that, you can use mosquito nets, treated mosquito nets, and mosquito breed on dirty environments. So you must make sure your environment is tidy.
This year's theme for World Malaria Day 2025 is Malaria Ends With Us. Reinvest, reimagine, reignite.
This year's theme emphasizes the need to intensify efforts in combating malaria, particularly in vulnerable communities, and ensure equitable access to preventive measures. Zahra Unasir, reporting for Global TV News.
In Nigeria, the question of truth and trust with families has taken center stage with growing calls for DNA tests to be made mandatory at birth. What was once a private matter between couples has exploded into a national debate, stirring legal, medical, cultural and religious discussions across the country. Our correspondent, Sadia Yakubu, takes a look at the story sparking intense conversation across Nigeria, the rising calls for mandatory DNA testing at birth. Her report.
In recent months, Nigerians have witnessed a surge in demand for DNA tests, primarily in matters of paternity. What began as isolated domestic disputes has grown into a public reckoning with implications for family law, child rights, and national identity. From shocking court cases to viral social media stories, allegations of paternity fraud have exposed a troubling trend. Legal experts say that requests for DNA tests in custody and divorce battles have increased by over 70% in some Nigerian states.
The preparation that needed to be done before it's fed into the machine that will do the reading is done, and the machine is optimal in function, in reagent, the reagent that I use are optimal, and that the lab or hospital is accredited and has integrity, so that people, because we know things can happen, so that it's not based on vested interests, they are manipulated to give a certain report.
We are seeing a lot of cases where men are questioning the paternity of their child or children, sometimes after years of raising them, and the courts are beginning to allow DNA results as admissible evidence.
So our religion saying if you have issue for your wife, or they thinking this speaking is not your block, you go and confirm to hospital or not, so that to confirm is your own or they are not your own.
It's not about mistrust, it's about trust. Every child deserves to know who their real parents are, and every man deserves to know the truth before investing years of emotional and financial support. But not everyone agrees.
For me, I never, since I read Bible, I never see any verse to check for DNA. It's not in the Bible.
This is not just a legal issue, it is a deeply cultural and emotional one. Mandating DNA tests could tear families apart, violate privacy, and open a floodgate of trauma. We need to approach this with caution.
Can truth and trust coexist? And should science be used to enforce family accountability, or should it remain a personal choice? I am Sadia Yakubu, Global Television.
As Nigeria continues to grapple with rising unemployment and economic hardship, more citizens are stressing the need for young people to embrace skills acquisition as a pathway to survival and success. Ubong Usoro completes the report. We bring that report to you in our subsequent bulletin. You are watching the live broadcast of the Midday News. When the Midday News returns, peace efforts stall as violence escalates in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Details coming shortly, plus business and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. You're welcome back from that break, and if you're just tuning in, this is the Midday News coming to you live on Global Television. And now to business news. The Nigerian presidency has announced the launch of the Green Imperative Partnership, GIP, a United States $1.1 billion economic cooperation deal between Nigeria and Brazil, aimed at revitalizing trade and strengthening agricultural mechanization. In a statement issued by Sunday Dari, the special advisor of public communications to President Bola Tinubu, the government said the project is expected to generate about 100,000 direct jobs and over 5 million indirect jobs while boosting food security and modernizing the country's agri sector. The statement added that the trade between Nigeria and Brazil has experienced sharp swings in recent years, from a high of about $9 billion a decade ago. Bilateral trade fell to just 1.6 billion United States dollars in 2023, reflecting underutilized opportunities and shifting global dynamics. Still talking business, the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAN, has resumed direct revenue collection at the cargo terminals of the Murtala Muhammed International Airport, Lagos. A statement by the Airport Authority Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, Obiageli Ora, said this is coming after a 15-year break, adding that officials from the Directorate of Cargo Development and Services are now deployed at the cargo release points of the Nigerian Aviation Handling Company and the Skyway Aviation Handling Company warehouses to supervise real-time collection of accrued cargo charges. The statement noted that the initiative has already begun to plug revenue leakages and ensure greater accountability across the air cargo value chain. On the foreign scene, now despite recent diplomatic efforts, violence continues to escalate in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, where thousands have been killed and hundreds of thousands displaced, the United Nations has warned. The DRC and the M23 rebel group reportedly signed a peace declaration in Qatar in the month of July, building on a previous deal between Congolese and Rwandan foreign ministers signed in June in Washington. However, the M23 was not directly involved in the negotiations and has since stated it will not abide by the terms. Congo's United Nations ambassador Zenon Mukono questioned Rwanda's commitment to the peace, accusing Kigali and its allies, M23 rebels affiliates, of ignoring the agreement. Away from Africa to Europe, where Russia has blamed Ukrainian drone attacks for a fire at a nuclear power plant in the western Kursk region, saying several Russian powers and energy facilities had been targeted overnight. There were no injuries and the fire was quickly extinguished, the plant's press service declared in the message on Telegram. It said the attacks and had damaged a transformer, but radiation levels were within the normal range. Firefighters were also sent to a blaze at the port of Ust-Luga in Russia's Leningrad region, which holds a large fuel export terminal. The regional governor said about 10 Ukrainian drones were brought down and debris had sparked the fire. Ukraine has not commented on the Russian accusations. And now talking sport, the third edition of the Nigerian Union of Journalists NUJ annual football tournament came to a thrilling end in Abuja. The grand finale saw the Nigerian Air Force battle the National Drug Enforcement Agency, with the Air Force lifting the trophy after a penalty shootout. The match had ended 1-1 at full time. Our sport correspondent, Samuel Odi, brings us the details.
The chairman of Sports Committee, Ndubeze Chidoka, said the competition, which has become a tradition in the NUJ, is designed to promote fitness, teamwork and healthy rivalries among journalists across different media houses.
The tournament has succeeded in uniting journalists in the Federal Capital Territory, creating a bonding atmosphere between the journalists and their partners. And I must say that we've succeeded in ensuring that all these, razzmatazz are bonded together to ensure that we have a brand of AUJ that everybody will be happy with. That's what we've achieved.
Also speaking, the NUJ Abuja chapter chairman, Comrade Grace Ike, stressed the role of sport in fostering unity among journalists, government agencies and private organizations. She appreciated this year's sponsors and called for more collaboration to sustain the tournament.
Let me appreciate the title sponsor of this sport activity, which is IBEM Property. And for us, we're happy that this is coming at a time when journalists need to unwind, It brings people together and it's a show of unity. This is a grand finale and as you can see, we have some of the agencies playing here. So at the end of the day, we'll get to give trophy to the winner of the game. Well, it's not about the winner, it's about letting the world know that AUJ is not about writing stories alone. We are also out to be in the media space, to carry everybody along as a community stuff and to let the public know that we are out to promote unity, we are out to promote community development, we are out to promote, to foster unity, peace and unity. So I'm happy this is coming. This is the grand finale and the winner will be won and the winner will be given their trophy. Same with the second runner-up. So I also want to use this opportunity to say thank you to NAWOJ. They performed very well. Women did, and if not for the mercenary, we would have won that game.
Beyond the excitement on the pitch, organizers say annual competition showcases the versatility of journalists, highlighting their talent beyond reporting while strengthening bonds within the profession.
It's because we believe in the process. We are very happy and excited doing it. I want to thank the leadership of the NUJ for thoughting it wise to at least put up an event like this. Like they say, all work with no play makes Jack a dull boy. And this is part of fitness anyway, you understand. So for us, we believe, health is wealth. It's just something we could do to also give our support to the journalists so they can be fit to do a lot more.
As the curtains fell, medals were presented to participants and the Nigerian Air Force was crowned champions of the 2025 edition. Samuel Odi reporting for Global Television News.
And that's it on Global TV Midday News. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using at Global TV NG. I am Mukhtar Kasim. Saying a very big thank you for watching. Good afternoon.